Hello and welcome to Strange Generations, a nightmarish journey through the shadows of America, one generation at a time. This episode is entitled The Bondage of Witchcraft, and this is the third episode and season finale of our 1980s arc. Though after this, we only have 3 more episodes where we'll come back and revisit some of these characters, perhaps in adulthood, as they deal with events in the future of 2020. That'll be very interesting, of course, but let's go see how things in the 1980s, when they're still in the full flush of youth, play out. I'm going to read a quick introduction. Well, most of them are. I don't know. I would say Miss Tara's still, she's young, relatively. Okay, a little bit. I'll go ahead and do a quick introduction recap. But first, let's go ahead and meet the players and the characters. So please tell me who you are, who you're playing, what their vibe and feeling is as we head into the final showdown with the forces of Abraxas here in 1980s Crescent Bay, New Jersey. Starting with Nick.
Hi, just starting right off the bat. I'm Nick, and once again, I am playing James Thompson, the football kind of. Who he thinks he's a football star. He's sort of clueless about the whole reasoning, but he's just sort of like, there's strange things going on and people getting shot and all this, but I guess he's gonna go protect this girl, and who knows, maybe he'll get to punch someone.
Well, I gotta say, his tackling of a runaway yuppie last episode, and his tackling of a horrible extra dimensional slasher in our first episode kind of saved the day. So don't knock it.
And one of the things he's semi good at is tackling people. So.
Very true. We are also joined by Marvin.
Hey, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing the part-time occult assistant, Walter Brimson. And as I mentioned, he helps out my previous character, Jordan Mays, who is now a crazy occult professor. But Walter himself, he takes his job seriously, but it's kind of down at the moment. He did get scratched by one of the monsters his last episode, but what he's most down is he struck out with his crush, Bethany DeWitt, if he even had a chance at all, because she already has a boyfriend. Really should have figured that out beforehand. But
I know. And right... Oh, go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, Walter's trying to pick himself up at the moment, and hopefully help Judith out, since, hey, she doesn't deserve all this crap that she's dealing with.
I definitely appreciate that. All right, so we are also very happy to be joined by Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm playing Ms. Tara Winklevoss. She's the guidance counselor of the local high school. She does have a PhD, but she does not have a doctorate. So, Dr. Tara is not appropriate. So it's Ms. Tara. Just wanted to set the record straight on that as to why she's not Dr. Tara. She cannot prescribe medication. Anyway, let's see. Yeah. So what am I doing? I guess I'm going to be chaperoning a dance soon, and probably, I think saying preventing the end of the world is a bit much. I would say that preventing a very small apocalypse in New Jersey would be more accurate. I don't want to get self-aggrandizing and say save the whole world. Just this little bit of it.
I mean, a small apocalypse, still pretty bad.
It's still not going to be great, but mermaid's got to do what a mermaid's got to do.
Definitely. Well, after we have this real life mermaid joining us, rounding us out, also very lucky, very happy to have him here. It is Dallas.
Hey, Dallas, and bringing back Donovan Tran. basically he's starting to see what's going on, putting some pieces together, um, and he's actually going with this one, and he's really doing that because he's really feeling the support of the people around him. Already a friend of James, and just still going along with what he's doing and loving the teamwork, and then found a new appreciation for Walter, because those two never really hung out much in the past, but he's come through clutch on his ideas and his connections, and Miss Tara just keeps the whole thing together. So it's he's sticking with it, even though he knows things are really, really crazy right now. But he figures, this must be the right place, right time, kind of thing.
All right. Well, I definitely think the power of friendship, as in so many other 80s movies, the power of friendship is one of the key themes of this arc that I've kind of tried to put into play here. And hopefully we'll see some more of that in this finale. So, oh, thank you, Kat. Friendship is magic. It's almost time for the spring formal at Crescent Bay High, the renowned Sadie Hawkins dance, where gender roles are flipped on their heads, and the girls get to ask the boys to accompany them as dates, if only for a single day. But there is another kind of fear besides the youthful butterflies of would-be romance, a true terror of an ancient evil finding new purchase in the form of high school junior Judith Cordero. Judith recently discovered that she has arcane powers, all because of a spell performed on her by a cult of businessmen known as Lamb. This ritual transformed her into the oblation of Abraxas, the vessel for a monstrous alien god from beyond the stars. But Judith's friends, wannabe football champ James Thompson, film geek Donovan Tran, aspiring occult investigator Jordan Mays, and Tara Winklevoss, the guidance counselor with a secret, are trying to protect her and save the world. They discovered that Lamb's plan involves corrupting Judith by weakening her mental and emotional defenses, allowing Abraxas to use her as a vessel. The setting for this ritual's completion is none other than the school dance. Prepare yourselves. Abraxas is back from the depths of space and ready to party. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into the action. We're going to do a scene with the boys of the group, James, Walter, and Donovan, and then we'll check in with Miss Tara in just a second. So, James, Walter, Donovan, on the eve of the dance, you guys have all been asked to go to Gregory's house, Gregory Gaglio. Or actually, sorry, Gregory instead invites you to his girlfriend's house, Bethany DeWitt's house, also located in Gilded Oaks, the richest section of Crescent Bay, where you guys can, snap a few snap a few spring formal promos and pick up the rented limo to ride it to the high school gymnasium where the dance itself will occur. So you guys arrive. I mean, nobody's invited you just yet, but I assume you're all dressed up.
In my best suit, I guess.
Did my best. Simple tie, shirt. Walter, let me see that straighten up. Did you know Bethany's gonna be here, man?
Yeah, but my chances with her are down the drain, man. I mean, she already seen somebody, so don't want to push it,
James, are you rocking a rented tux, you think?
Yeah, but he's definitely is not comfortable with it, and like he's foregone the tie altogether. So he's got like the one button up.
just the open collar. Ooh. Yeah. All right. Well, it's certainly a look. So you guys in, Gregory meets you, and he's like, Guys, I'm so glad you could make it. I got a little bit of a surprise for you. Come on in. Bethany's over here in the study. I mean, this house is one of those, so you can believe it. You head over there and you see Bethany is there along with three other girls from your high school who are you recognize in some of your classes. There is Megan Monahan, who Donovan. She's part of the school film club, so you recognize her from probably some movie goings. She heads over to join you. Also, Alice Avakian, who is a reporter on the school newspaper. She goes right next to you, Walter. And then there is Kylie Kita, who is the captain of the Lady Bucks basketball team. And James, she heads over to you.
Oh, okay.
And Megan's like, Donovan, I'm trying to get a hold of you.
Oh yeah? About what?
Well, to be honest, it's about the dance.
Oh, what about it?
Has anyone asked you to go?
Me? Yeah. I mean, sure. No, not really.
All right. Well, I would like to.
Instant red, flushed, probably sweating. Me? Yes. Yes.
Hey, we sat through the entire Krzysztof Kieślowski Colors series.
I know, that was amazing.
Oh yes, he's truly a master. So we can handle this.
Yeah, get him talking about movies. He'll be okay and start like saying normal things.
Oh, you're right. Yes, Miss Tara, I miscalculated. That is correct. Kieślowski's Colors series is from the 90s. I was trying to think of like a very long series of films that would be available then.
Husbands and Wives by Ingmar Bergman.
Yes.
What's it called? I'll come back to you. The Russian Art.
Yeah.
That's quite long.
Yes, anything from Bergman, I think, would definitely be on rotation at the film club for sure. All right, Walter. Alice Avakian goes over to you, and she's like, Brimson.
Hi, Alice. Fancy
Hi.
meeting you here.
Yes, well, I actually came here because you're going to be here.
Really? We don't
Yes.
really talk at all. So,
Oh, believe me, it's not for lack of trying. I need to know what you and Doc Mays are up to. So how about I take you to the dance, and you can tell me all about it.
really? That's all you wanted? You know you can just go and talk to the doc himself, right? I can even introduce you.
Oh, well, that'd be great. But also, I wouldn't mind going to the dance with you, Walter, if that's okay.
To the Oh. Sorry. Kind of drawing a blank. No one's really asked me to go with them to anything, but you know what?
Well, I'd like to.
You know what? I'd
For
like to
the
too.
story, I mean, just like, so I can interview you about, Doc Mays and
Yeah.
things happening
Of
in
course,
town.
just
That's why.
for the story, of course. They're both
Yeah,
trying
for
to
the
make
story.
excuses, aren't they?
You can like, hey, you could be like my deep throat. Oh, oof. Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way.
That's like,
Yeah.
you know
ugh.
what? Let's just go to the dance.
Thanks. Yes. And then James, Kita approaches you and she's like, I'm asking you to the dance. You want to go with me?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? I mean,
Sounds good. All right. So while you guys are relaxing, with your dates, limo's about to pull in. Meanwhile, Miss Tara, how are you getting ready to go to the dance, which you are chaperoning?
Quick player aside, I meant Scenes from a Marriage, not Husbands and Wives. Husbands and Wives is a Woody Allen movie from the 90s.
Right. That's it
Scenes
sounds
from a
familiar.
Marriage was a miniseries by Ingmar Bergman that ran in the 70s, was often shown in movie theaters in the United States in the 80s.
Ah, okay.
It's very long.
Yes, that is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, she's getting in her chaperone outfit, which I guess probably is required to be a dress. So she's wearing a lavender dress. Yeah, I mean, as far as getting ready, she doesn't really know how to stop the end of the world, you know.
Okay.
I guess she calls back to Rivermaw and asks if the pelagic priests have any advice since they have fought it before.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you probably get some responses. Well, actually, what do you think Miss Tara's relationship with Rivermaw is? Like, is she still pretty close with them, or?
I mean, she kind of has to be pretty close to them because at some point she has to go back there.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like she can, sometime in her 40s or 50s, she's not going to be able to really live with normal humans anymore, so.
All right, well, look at what answers they know, which is like, you got to find the right spell casting materials to counter the ritual, which are going to be different each time. So they don't really know what they would be, but it's got to be something that like matches the age.
Matches the age? The modern age is plastic and video games.
Well, perhaps it could be something like that. Well, as you were getting ready, you hear, so your wife, Angela, she's down like below in the living room area. And you hear her call out, Tara? And she definitely sounds frightened, so something is wrong.
Okay, she takes off the kitten heel shoes that she's wearing to run faster.
Okay, are you going down the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you head down, you see Angela's like sitting at the kitchen table, and Lieutenant Knott is like sitting across from her. He does have a pistol, which is silenced, like casually aimed at Angela, just kind of like at his side. He's not like putting it right to her head, but it's pretty clear he could kill her if he wants to. He's wearing like kind of a dark uniform, and he's like, Tara Winklevoss, my associates are going to see to your other friends, but I want to deal with you personally.
This is the guy from the water park? Just trying to remember.
This is the one who masterminded the whole thing behind Lamb, and he's the one who tried to kill Brad Blix, but I guess you saved him and escaped. He's like, put your hands above your head and go in front of me. We're going for a ride.
Fantastic. Simply fantastic.
All right. So
Angie, this doesn't have anything to do with you, so be calm. This will be fine.
Exactly. It will all be over soon. So he goes ahead and like gets behind you.
Uh-huh.
And he leads you out to a car that he has, which you can see that the driver is one of those creepers.
Uh-huh.
Those weird, like, kind of oil skin, sort of chimpanzee-sized creatures.
Yeah.
And it has to, like, lean down pretty hard to reach the gas, but it can do it okay. So it's a pretty like nondescript, Chevy. So he's like, he orders you like get in the passenger seat.
Okay.
And he gets behind you. And he's still keeping the gun at you. And he nods, and the creeper starts like driving away from your house, heading in the direction of the high school.
I don't think I've ever caught your name, sir.
It's Lieutenant Nolan Knott.
Okay, Lieutenant Nolan Knott. What's your end game here specifically?
I don't know if I really want to tell you that, or if I want to speak with you at all. You are simply a means to an end.
You know that keeping me completely in the dark about what's happening is more likely to lead me to being panicked. And the more likely I am to panic, the more likely there are to be problems for you. That's not me making a threat. That's me purely speaking on the basis of psychology, sir. So, in the interests of me not having a panic situation, which is honestly quite uncontrollable for your average human being, a few details might be helpful for me.
Okay, go ahead and roll charm. I think this might be a good way of working at him.
Sure, and this is also including, I think, her background in psychology, which is what her skill is. So that's a plus.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, so I've got a 5, and I'm adding 3 to it, so it's an 8.
Yeah, I would say that does it. Okay, he's like I said, you are a means to an end, a means to activate Judith Cordero.
Okay, now the best that I can understand it, and perhaps your organization has a different opinion about it, is you're attempting to use her as a vessel for Abraxas. My basic question for you, if that is the case, is how do you think you're going to control this thing once it's out in the world?
He's like, there are certain operational necessities that you or any average American citizen cannot understand. Sometimes operations have unintended consequences. But it is acceptable in the pursuit of the objective.
So you're basically a true believer.
The things I have seen have proven to me that true power can come from Abraxas. And that's what I wish to harness.
If you had seen the things that I've seen in my life, you would not necessarily have such confidence in beings like that.
He's kind of pondering on it. I think by now you have like kind of arrived at the parking lot of the high school. They got a few parking lots. He's kind of taken more of the back one, the service one. This one's pretty empty compared to the front of the gym, which is where the other cars have arrived. So he's like,
really,
oh, go ahead.
You should really think about whether or not this thing that you're going to pull out of the ether cares at all about what you want and what you desire. You should think about how painful the way it's going to end your life is going to be.
He pauses for a little bit and he's like I said, many of the missions that I've run have unintended consequences. This is no different. Now walk.
Okay. So basically, she's not really trying to change his mind so much as to make him nervous, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
As to what her game is.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, he's pure steel, but
yeah.
You can definitely tell he's like a little, especially when you mentioned that, like, your experiences. I mean, he's probably done like some research on you, but
right.
I think like that definitely is like, Okay, so
I'll just say, I'll let you know one other thing, sir. In my experience, men like you are the ones that suffer the most in the end.
Whoa. Okay, so he's walking you into like kind of the back area of the gymnasium. So taking, like the hallways that kind of connect to it from the school side. So meanwhile, let's pop back into the DeWitt house where James, Donovan, Walter, and their dates are like hanging out. Bethany's got a camera, snapping a few quick prom photos, and then the limousine has pulled up outside. But before you guys start heading out, Bethany's father shows up. This is Douglas DeWitt. So he walks in from the side, and he's like, Um, girls, why don't you go freshen up? You know, I've got to have the talk with these gentlemen here. And Bethany's like, okay, don't be too scary. And they head into the other room. And then DeWitt looks you over and he's like, I'm sorry, boys, but well, if you were in my situation, you'd understand. And he takes a pistol out of his coat,
Uh-oh.
aims it at you guys. Yes, now I know. Old Douglas DeWitt, just a little odd, but like I said, if you were in my position, you'd understand. And I've been a member of Lamb for nearly 10 years now, so when they asked me to do this, it hurt, but I really have no choice.
So you choose to do this then? You work for them and you're going to shoot us?
Oh, I'm not going to shoot you, as long as you don't do anything stupid. And Gregory's like glaring at him. And he's like, no, you're just, well, it's just bad luck. You guys happen to be friends with Judith Cordero, don't you?
If we are, what's it to
Friends
you?
is a strong word.
Well, according to what I've been told, you're her best buds. And
That was the rumor. What's wrong with Judith?
oh, don't pretend that you don't know. Except for you, Gregory. I don't think you actually don't know. But I think these three do.
Honestly, does Gregory know anything of what you're doing, Mr. DeWitt?
DeWitt's like, no, and I'm sorry about that. Just, guess wrong place, wrong time. But hopefully it will all work out.
Hopefully
so why
it'll
not
all
just
work
let
out.
him go?
Yeah, why not?
Gregory's like, I'm not just walking away, man. These are my friends. James is on my team.
Look, Greg, this is not your scene, dude.
Douglas is like, well, look, if I did, he'd probably just run over and he'd warn the girls back there and probably call the police. It would cause a whole thing.
Warn
A
them
real
of what?
snag. I appreciate your concern for your friend, but I don't think it's going to happen.
So wait, if you do shoot us, how are you going to explain that?
And
Like I said, I'm not going to shoot you. You're just going to come with me into the limo. You're all going to get into the trunk. It's got a big trunk. And then I'll drive you to the spring formal.
But you do know who Greg's father is, right? And who he knows. If you don't, then maybe that is why you pulled the gun out on him. That wasn't very smart, mister.
Ooh. He's like, well, there's been, rumors, but I didn't think. And Gregory's like, oh, yeah, those rumors are true. So you can
Nice.
tell, yeah, Douglas is now getting very scared. He's like, look, I'm in a lot of debt. This house, like the way I live, all the things with, stuff for Bethany, like it's got a cost, and Lamb helped me fulfill that as long as I did what they asked, and that's what I'm doing now. Don't make this any harder than it has to be. Just come on, outside, all of you.
Has the lieutenant actually told you what is planning?
I just do what I'm told, and then I get the money I need to keep on living like I do. That's what matters, right? Everybody's doing that.
Right. You do realize that if whatever plan he's cooking up, whatever it is going to go on, everyone's going to die here.
Money won't have any meaning for you.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, it's true.
Hmm.
From what we've seen, oh yeah. You
Yeah,
haven't seen like weird little creatures running around, have you?
Those are just a side effect.
No, they're real, and Walter's gonna hold up his scar.
Ooh. All right. I think someone's gonna have to roll a charm to convince him. Kind of tricky, cause like he's really in the pocket of Lamb and Lieutenant Knot.
All right, who has the highest charm out of the three of us?
Definitely not me.
I got a 4. I'll roll any day, but
I have the
Walter, it might be
D8.
you.
That's not really good.
wait,
we
well-
don't really have a charm character this time, do we?
I mean, I've got a 6.
I've got a D10. It's the highest charm that this group has.
Yeah, I think
Dang it.
Miss Tara sadly is not there.
awesome. We have. Let's do it, Walter.
All right. I'll roll. 5.
Okay. I think it worries him, but it's not enough to get him to stop.
So that's a token.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. You take an adversity token for that.
Okay.
All right, so he like kind of ushers you guys outside and goes to the limousine and just kind of like orders you all into the back in the trunk. It's a big trunk, so there's enough room for all 4 of you.
Oh man, really?
I'm sorry, but you got to do it.
Wouldn't it look suspicious if we come out of the trunk?
Well, I'll park in the back, so nobody will be there.
And what about the
We
girls?
just-
I'll tell them that you took off. They'll be heartbroken, but like I said, I've got to do it.
Why can't we just yell out that we're being kidnapped?
Please, Walter, you gonna do that?
Do it!
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you shout out. So what do you shout
Help! Help! We're being kidnapped! He has a gun!
out? Okay, instantly, the 4 girls slam open the door and hurry out. And Bethany's like, "Dad, you are not pointing a gun at my date and my friends. Stop that now! Stop it!" And they're all just like freaking out, yelling. He spins around. He's so flustered, he's not really aiming the gun at you guys anymore. And he's like, "Bethany, go back inside. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, baby, but I gotta do it." Oh,
While
Jane.
he's distracted, can I see if I can get close to him to tackle him at least? Maybe see if I can get the gun away from him.
Yes. You think this is a fight roll or grit or brawn? What would you think this would be good?
I can see fight.
Okay. Go ahead and roll fight. Let's see what happens here.
Aw, so close to exploding. 12.
Okay. I mean, you're in football fighting shape. He's like a doughy, middle-aged dad. So I think you take him down. How do you do it?
So basically, while he's sort of reeled around at the girls, I think I take that opportunity to just, as fast as I can, just bum rush him and tackle him to the ground and grab I'll push away the gun towards Donovan, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try to grab it. I'll probably look towards Gregory, be like, just out of like instinct, like, you know how to use one of these? Ever see your dad use one?
He's like, "No, never."
Okay.
I mean, I guess you just like point at stuff and pull the trigger, but let's not do that. I don't want to kill my date's dad.
No, I'm definitely just like not holding it out anymore. I'm just pointing it at the ground.
Okay, so the other students head over. Alice is like, "Brimson, what's going on here?"
Okay, so Mr. Dwight here is part of an organization called Lamb that's trying to bring about the return of an eldritch god called Abraxas that will probably kill every single person in this town. And we, the 3 of us, are trying to stop it from possessing Judith, the aforementioned god Abraxas needs to manifest in the physical realm. We protect Judith and stop Lamb, and Abraxas will not kill us all. Also, Miss Tara's in on it as well. She's protecting Judith right now.
Alice is like, "That was very concise."
We've been doing this for the past week.
Whoa. All right. right. Well, I guess we can. Bethany's like, Dad, you can go back in the house. I guess we're going to prom.
Also, you are too used to
spring
this,
formal.
Bethany.
What's that?
You are too used to this, Bethany.
Bethany's like, oh, don't worry. The freak out's coming later. Right now, I'm running on adrenaline, and I guess like I'm still like Judith is some kind of weird messiah, and my dad's in on it.
I mean, I will say what Judith can do is pretty dang awesome.
All right, well, let's hope she's there.
Don't worry, Miss Tara's got it.
Okay. Oh, and I should say, Judith was going to go to the prom separately, so she'll be able to she'll drive over and arrive by herself.
I appreciate that they're putting so much faith in somebody that has a D4 in fighting.
Oh boy, you have other strengths. Okay, so you guys all hop into the limo. I didn't realize it was a limo service. I think it was, and I think DeWitt just like bought it or rented it, and he was going to throw you in the trunk and drive you. So one of you guys hops in, drives the limo, with everybody else packs inside, and you cruise over to the gymnasium.
On the drive there, wanted to make a plan with Alice. She's part of the newspaper, so maybe she can help investigate.
Well, the school newspaper, but yeah.
Yeah. But maybe she can help with, spotting anything that might be trouble.
Okay.
They'll work out a plan on the drive.
Okay. So, all right. So, you guys arrive at the school. You head into the main parking lot where all the other kids have parked their cars. They're all heading inside. The theme for the spring formal is where did I write it? Anyway, the theme is jazz age. So it's got some fun Art Deco decorations, lots of silver and gold tinsel everywhere. And right now everyone's in there bopping to some new wave hits. Probably one of the bands they've got is jamming away. Everybody's out there dancing. You guys are there, and are you guys heading inside or kind of waiting outside for a little bit? What's the plan here?
I think we would try to probably group up, is my guess. Make sure everyone's keen on what's happening.
Where's Judith?
Okay, so you're staying together.
Well.
Yes, Miss Tara is not there. In fact, as you go in, you do notice. I will say, right around now is when Judith arrives, and she's not alone. She's brought her dogs with her.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
Judith is wearing a prom dress. Maybe not the most, what's the word, expensive or fancy dress, and she's wearing it under a leather jacket. Because it's still a little bit of spring chill in the air, but it still looks pretty cool. And she also has a half dozen dogs that she raises around her house to come with her, of a whole variety of different breeds and shapes and sizes, which she can talk to.
That's right.
That's entourage.
She's like, yeah, they wouldn't let me come alone. I know. I guess I don't think you're allowed to bring dogs to prom, but dogs to the spring formal. But I think we might need their help. And besides, I'm not really here to dance.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen anything strange?
Well, Bethany's dad just tried to kidnap us.
Oh my God. What about Miss Tara? Is she here?
We don't know. We haven't seen her at all.
Or haven't
Oh
seen it.
no. I think if Bethany's dad tried to kidnap you, maybe he's going after all my friends, which means you'd also be going after Miss Tara.
Well.
Do you think they know where she lives?
They seem to know everything.
Hmm.
All right, so so go ahead, Miss Tara. We'll check back with you in just a second. This will be kind of hard.
I was actually going to do a thing for Judith since I am partially in control of her.
Oh, yes, please. Yes.
I was going to say that she tells the animals to sniff out Miss Tara.
Oh, excellent idea.
Good idea.
Okay. Oh, let me make sure we have the right amount of psychic energy tokens. So starts out with 7, and this will cost 1.
That's
Is that
fine,
okay?
I think.
Okay, so now she is 6 out of 7.
People are okay with it.
Okay, so Cad, how do you think she does this to send her dogs on a mission?
Okay. Here's the plan, fellas. Miss Tara's probably been kidnapped by a creep from the water park. Now, last time I was with her, she gave me a t-shirt for this band called Megadeth. And it should smell like her. So, and I've been carrying it around with me for no good reason. If you want to, this should her smell, go chase her down.
Ooh, very cool. All right. So the dogs sniff and spread out. Meanwhile, Miss Tara, you are being led kind of back through the hallways of the gym. And you can hear, the music of the spring formal. I keep on calling it prom. It is not prom. Please correct me. Or, just know it's the spring formal. But yeah, so you can hear the music coming in through the walls and hear the merrymaking going on. But you're kind of in the back, the back hallways there. And behind you, you do hear the footsteps of Lieutenant Knott. You know he's got that pistol on him still. But then suddenly, you do hear something else a little strange. The clicking of paws on the tile floor. And you see maybe a trio of dogs, of pups, racing down the hall, and then they start barking crazily. And Knott is totally confused and distracted.
I'm trying to think of what she can do because she has no abilities to really wrestle a gun from somebody. And she's not really that good at running either.
Okay, well, he's distracted.
Okay. If he's distracted, she's going to try to get away at this point.
Okay. You can see a back entrance leads into the gym, kind of behind the stage area, which seems like that's where he was walking you.
Okay.
He was going to try and walk you into the gymnasium and then do something.
Great. Yeah, I think that she's going to try to make a break for the door then.
Okay, give me a flight roll.
Sure. That's an awesome D6.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too high. She's not going.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Okay. I will say you barely make it. You dash through. You look back. You see him raising the pistol for just a moment, he's about to, shoot you in the back. But then he reconsiders and he lowers the gun and he steps back into the shadows, as if he's like, well, I kind of got her where I want her. Maybe the plan's not working out exactly as I wanted, but it's still, she's in the right place at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in the gym. You peer through, across the dance floor. The everybody doing the, why am I blanking on 80s dance moves? Just the classic, which that and the slow dance are your classic high school dances. The robot, were people doing the robot in the 80s?
In 1984, or 85, I feel like we're 84, 85. Yeah, breakdancing was huge at that point.
Oh, yes. I know.
I can assure you that no matter how intensely white the suburb was, kids were trying to do it.
Yes, I can definitely imagine that. In the spirit of Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, the world-renowned classic, there would be some attempts at breakdancing, probably leading to a lot of hurt butts,
Yeah,
sore
and
spines, and embarrassment. But people are trying at least.
there'd be at least one person that thinks they can moonwalk as well.
Oh, yes. Why was I not thinking that? Yes,
I mean,
yes.
not everybody be moonwalking. They wouldn't be like doing the dance from Thriller or anything, but there was always at least somebody that was like, "Look, I can do it."
They're trying.
And it was always
Well-
just walking backwards awkwardly.
So, past some teens walking backwards awkwardly, you do see the students who you've been kind of keeping an eye on, along with Judith, and some new kids there, all in sort of a cluster in like kind of the corner area. Maybe by the punch bowl and some snacks.
Hello, students. I do not mean to alarm you, but maybe we can talk somewhere in private.
Judith's like,
Yeah, we've been looking for you.
"Are you okay?"
I would like to discuss this in private.
Okay, let's head into this corner over here.
Mhm.
Yes, that man from the water park that shot the other man from the water park is here. He actually led me here.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that weird like military dude.
Yeah, the weird military fellow.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh, boy.
He did have a gun on me. Dogs
Motherfuck.
stopped him. I haven't heard a gunshot, which means he hasn't shot any of the dogs, so I guess he's
Oh,
not a
thank God.
completely horrible
Judith's like,
person.
I'll summon him back. So far, everyone just kind of accepts the fact there's some dogs hanging out here. They're the life of the party.
It's a surprising number of dogs for an event like this. So yeah, I don't know. I feel as though they're definitely going to try to push through the things happening tonight. Now, as far as I can tell, Judith, the entire thing is getting you very, very upset, right?
Okay, well, I mean, going after you guys, like, that did it.
Yeah, I understand, but what they're trying to do is aggravate you.
Okay.
So I feel like maybe we should do some of those relaxation exercises I've taught you before. I recently had a gun held on me, and you can see how calm I'm being right now. And that's because I'm practicing holistic thinking and relaxation exercises.
Okay, I can try.
And if that doesn't work, I can give you a laudanum.
I really don't want you to do that.
Okay,
I want to be in control of myself. I think that's really important.
sure. Well, then the main thing you want to do is practice your breathing, practice your relaxation, because I feel like they're going to do things here that they're going to try to upset you.
Okay. So I think at this moment, the first of those upsetting things is about to happen.
Are we all together now?
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty much everybody who was going to the prom, Doc Mays and young Anthony Goglio, are not here because they didn't get tickets, but they might show up later.
Doc Mays hasn't been allowed near his school since that one incident we're not
Oh
allowed
my
to
God!
talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Walter tried to like bring him in as a guest speaker and like it went real bad?
He set fire to a couple of classrooms.
Oh no. That was the end of what was it? Learn from a job in the community day at like Crescent Bay Middle School or something.
Sad thing is, he was just trying to make mayonnaise.
He really was. It's delicious too. I have his recipe.
All right. The double doors of the gymnasium slam open. Outside, beyond the silver tinsel and faux Art Deco decorations, darkness stretches in. A figure emerges. A stained Leatherman jacket, gloved hands, a fire axe, and an antlered stag head. For a moment, nervous laughter splits the hall. Someone dressed as the Bloody Buck? Here? Talk about bad taste. Then, the Bloody Buck strides into the prom, teens in their formal wear stepping aside, and begins to change. He grows, his jeans and Lettermans splitting and shifting to reveal dark, oil-slick-colored muscle. The horns bulge, multiplying, until a score of points jut out from each side of a lupine head. The axe grows, becoming a double-headed monstrosity that could hack a car apart. The bloody buck, the grim huntsman, now nearly touches the ceiling. Now the screams begin. All right, so this monstrosity, he's huge, is now like in the hall. He's kind of blocking the exit, and he starts like heading towards you guys. His those glowing red eyes inside this shadowy body are like fixed on you, and he's heading for you. Other kids are hurrying out of the way. The band's still playing a little bit, but the notes are getting discordant and crazy as they start to freak out and abandon their instruments. What do you guys do?
Can I use a skill?
Yes, go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, I wanted to use intuitive with the one coin that I've earned this entire arc.
Wow, yeah, we've been rolling, I gotta say, not that many. Did we get any ones this time? Any?
I have
critical
had
failures?
no adversity tokens in this game.
Yeah,
I
zero
think
adversity.
Donovan got one.
Had one fail last time.
Right, but yeah,
Yeah, we've been rolling good, guys.
I know, maybe it's due for a change, especially after some of our earlier arcs, and it was just like, we was getting horribly mangled, but
I mean, Rosie got adversity tokens nonstop and was spending them nonstop. Like, I probably got like 20 by the end of that game.
Same thing with rabbits. It was the same way.
Mhm. But yeah, intuitive. And let's see. Ask the GM about your surroundings, an NPC, or the likely GM must answer honestly. Alright, so Walter and Doc Mays have probably been researching about like occult creatures, specifically the Bloody Huntsman, since we just encountered them. So I want to know if Walter would know any weaknesses of the Huntsman.
I think so. I would say maybe you study the Grim Huntsman and other like Abraxas emanations, like the Earl King or the Sunglasses Men.
Yeah, and we do have that game Shadow Sentinels back at the lab, so maybe that told us something.
Ooh, okay, yes, probably in the the Shadow Sentinels Monster Manual equivalent. It describes some weaknesses of the different emanations. Like for the Sunglasses Men, fire was pretty clear. For the Grim Huntsman, it's like electricity. So if you can find some way to like shock him, that can really pause him. That can pause him, and if enough electricity is put into him, like the lightning that struck him during its first attack in our first episode, that can banish him completely.
Alright, guys, we need to shock him. Electricity.
Right. This ties into something that my priest from home was advising me about, that you should use the things from the whatever era you're in to fight this thing. She looks straight at the electric guitar. If I can get it towards the stage, if any of you know how to drop the rigging on it, that should be plenty of electric current to run through it. And then she makes a break for the stage to play electric guitar, because this is the most 80s solution to this problem I can think of.
I love it. Let's take out this monster with the power of rock and roll.
That's right.
All right,
She's
so Miss
she's
Tara.
gonna crank that amp to 11 and try to do some Eddie Van Halen shit.
Oh, I love it. All right, so Miss Tara, you're dashing towards the stage. I think the Grim Huntsman is going to give chase. And you can tell, like, this creature, like, it's not just swinging out randomly and attacking people. It's going after you guys. Like, it's specifically been tasked with killing you. So Miss Tara is going to try and chase after you, unless one of your friends can find some way to distract it or ward it off, or maybe Judith use a power. What do you guys think?
Yeah. My goal was probably going to do dodge and weave. Once you say he grew to the size of the ceiling, all efforts of fighting like left Donovan's brain. But he's decently quick. So my goal was to start throwing like sort of the table items at him, because sometimes the dances have like those centerpieces on the tables and stuff. So
definitely.
get his attention, and then have sort of the chase happen.
All right. Also, you chuck like a big, trying to think of a fun Art Deco, like a cool silhouette of like a fedora, very Indiana Jones, and you just like hurl it at the Grim Huntsman. Not hard to hit because he's pretty big. And then that like big head shifts around, those huge eyes, the baleful glow settles on you. So go ahead and give me a. You said you're kind of weaving around it, trying to like dodge.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the attention, but pretty much, dodge and weave. I'll try to lead him towards the stage now that Walter mentioned what he did, and Miss Tara sort of yelled out and ran up there.
Okay.
So I'm trying to give her a chance to run. Just she's on her way.
I like it. Go ahead and give me a flight roll.
Okay.
You think that's what that's the one that makes?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going for. Because no way fighting, no way am I trying to take the hits, brawn it or nothing like that, or trip him. I'm just So, oh no, that was a D10. Rolled a 1.
Oh, okay. I guess we did speak about those good rolls. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have, let's see, I have tough. So if I lose a combat roll, it's not combat. Never mind. I was trying to run. So that doesn't work. Nope. Protector doesn't work. I'm eating this one. Yep.
I have no adversity tokens to spend to help you.
I have 1, but it's a 1 anyway. So
it's a 1. That's not gonna.
Okay. Oh, James.
Could I sort of, seeing him stumble, could I sort of try and interpose myself? That's the word, I think, in between the two.
Well, I think there's gonna be some consequences for this, but
sure.
Definitely afterwards. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no worries. All right, so Donovan, what do you think messes you up? Like, how do you beef it?
The primo custodial staff, who's always on point, waxed the floor so good.
Oh no!
Heel, I just slipped in my dress shoes because I'm not wearing my sneakers. So boom.
All right, I'm gonna say you slide across the floor and you crash into. Unfortunately, like your whole goal was to distract this from Miss Tara. Unfortunately, you crash right into the stage. You're gonna take some injuries. You're gonna get some pretty bad like bruises. I don't think you like sprain anything, but like your shoulders are like really messed up. It's gonna be black and blue tomorrow. And they're gonna be very sore. Your arms didn't break any bones, but like your arms are gonna be difficult to use. And even worse, you're like wedged in the wood. The stage kind of crunches a little bit, and you're stuck there.
Okay.
And the bloody buck is now charging towards you with axe rays to cut you apart. And Miss Tara is right in the path too. She's going up to the stage. All right, James.
Yep. Yeah. Basically, I just wanted to, seeing as sort of like he's well distracted. He's going to where we need to go, but also I got a buddy on the ground who shouldn't be on the ground. So I think I want to I don't know. I'm trying to. I guess. Yeah, I'm pretty much just going to sort of get myself in front of Donovan, like in between the buck. Sort of.
Okay, you're not gonna like do any tactics. You're just kind of.
Not right now. I think we want the buck to sort of get closer to the stage. So,
okay.
If I can, I would like to sort of either get Donovan up and like moving, or just sort of maybe just sort of get him away from the path.
Right. Okay. Why don't you give me a brawn roll to help him up? Because he's
Sure.
kind of dazed after that. After sliding, zooming across, and smashing into the stage.
Ah,
Breakdancing mishap.
4.
Okay, I'll also get about halfway up. He's not too hefty, but you know, it's a little tricky, a little unwieldy, and now the Grim Huntsman has closed in. Miss Tara.
I was gonna have Judith do a thing.
Okay.
Dogs everywhere. I feel
Okay.
like that would make it hard for the huntsman to close the distance easily.
Right. So you're sending the dogs to like James, I don't think it's adversity because like it's not you didn't totally fail. This is a partial success.
If there's one thing dogs are good at doing, it's tripping their owner without getting hurt.
Ooh, all right. So you're
And
sending the
there are
dogs
like
to
15 dogs here, all basically doing the thing where they're leaning inappropriately against the hut. Even though the thing is huge, there's also 15 dogs. She has the
Okay.
power of 15 dogs.
This will use an energy token. Is that okay?
If everybody else is cool with it, I feel like. Because the intention isn't, I think, to completely stop this thing from moving to the stage. It's just to slow it down enough that Ms. Tara and Walter can get there, right?
So
So,
for it, we get 5 of these things since it's the end of the
Yeah.
arc. This arc.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Yes. You currently have 5 more.
So let's use them.
yeah, so dogs everywhere. Because there's
Okay.
nothing Ms. Tara is going to be able to do to make her escape better. But I'm hoping that if I throw one of Judith's powers at it, that I can.
Absolutely. All right. The dogs rush around the feet of the Grim Huntsman, tripping it up. It stumbles a little bit. You can see the shadows, and it's like kind of Minotaur-esque body shifting about as it tries to steady the axe. And James, you were able to get Donovan to safety. Okay, Walter, I think you want to do something as you're while the Grim Huntsman is distracted.
Yeah, I think I was going to be dropping the lights on it.
Okay. So there are like these big, floodlights, spotlights, colored lights for the dance. There's some like ladders and some catwalks up above the gym. Are you like heading up there?
drop the line set.
Okay, you rush up. How are you dropping the lights? I'm not. What's your kind of plan to do this?
I think we need to do it. I think the plan, Michael, was for Ms. Tara to be doing the thing that causes it to hold still for a second. And then the
Oh,
lights
right.
go.
Okay, and then Walter drops the lights. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I got it now. Okay, so
Yeah.
Miss Tara.
Sorry, I was gone for that bit when we came up with the plan, but
Okay. Well, Walter, does that plan like kind of make sense to you?
Mystara holds it in place. James got Donovan out of the way. Drop the lights on it. We'll cause a bit of electric shock to it, and hopefully take it out. Yep, sounds good.
All right. Okay, so Miss Tara, how are you? I know we talked about using the power of rock. What does that look
Yeah.
like?
I'm doing the power of rock. She's gonna take whatever guitar was up there. Hopefully, probably a Fender, based off the period of time. A lot of people have like Frankenstein guitars at this point because of Eddie Van Halen, which is basically a Fender that you've put really hot pickups into. She takes that, turns that all the way up, turns the amp all the way up, kicks on the awesome Boss DS1 distortion pedal, and just lets loose with her face melting solo,
Ooh.
which should hopefully be really gritty.
Wow. I mean, we knew Miss Tara was a woman of eclectic tastes, but who knew that she could shred?
Well, we'll see if she can shred. This will be when the D20 totally betrays me.
Okay, and I think James also had a suggestion too. How'd the roll go for the shredding?
The shredding is a 12.
Okay, I would say it's a pretty gnarly solo.
Yeah. She leans into the microphone and goes, This is called eruption. And then she plays
Ooh,
eruption.
oh, I love it. All right, so as you are ripping your way through that solo, James was suggesting Judith would use one of her. What power was that?
the weather control. So basically, as the lights go down and the shock happens, there would be an additional sort of lightning bolt.
Okay.
So
we'll go ahead and say, well, let's see if we can get the lights first of all, and then I'll ever use that. That would bring her to 4 out of 7. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the person with the control of such a power was going to suggest it. So.
All right. Awesome.
I got you.
Okay, so we got Miss Tara, noodling away on the guitar.
Wielding the power of electricity.
Okay, Walter.
Mhm.
How do you bring the lights down?
All right, so where are the lights, first of all?
I would say there's a catwalk, above the gymnasium, and that the lights are like looking down from there, so you can adjust them.
Oh, cool.
Ripping them free and hurling them down might be a little tricky, unless you've got like a tactic or a method you're using, or just like trying to wrench them free and hurl them down. What do you think?
I mean, old school theater, if they're all on one pipe.
Yeah, drop the pipe.
Yeah. Drop the entire pipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I figure Walter's kind of used to unscrewing things working at the lab. Lord knows how many times I've had to make adjustments to the the doc's equipment.
Okay. Maybe I'll make you do a real low brains roll. Unless there's like a 1 or a 2, you'll probably pass this.
I have a D20. This should be good. I rolled an 8.
Okay.
It wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
Well, it didn't need to be. I mean, you're just unscrewing some stuff, so...
I want to know that my...
Oh, go ahead, Miss Tara.
My roll to play guitar was an 11 on the die, which makes me amused in a Spinal Tap fashion. Just it becomes a 12 because I have a +1 in grit, but my die did go up to 11.
Yeah, this one goes to 11.
Sorry.
No. It's good. It's good to say that. We have to do. If we can throw in a Spinal Tap reference, we got to. All right, so the row of lights hurtles down, smashes onto the back and head of the Grim Huntsman. Is this when Judith uses her lightning?
Yes.
All right. Okay, James, what does this look like?
So, I think, I would say, Judith has sort of been like figuring things out. It's like, okay, do that, okay, flies, electricity. And so as the lights go down, the eyes go white, the wind sort of circles her again, and like I would say, I'm going to guess that there's like probably a skylight or something, like.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you just see like a bolt of lightning coming in through the skylight, a bunch of glass shattering as it hits him, as it hits the buck.
All right. Yes, this lightning curls down, crashes like right into its head. It radiates down the horns. You can see like it mixes with the fallen. It like amplifies the electricity that was coming through the lights, and the whole thing like just shakes and rocks and shivers, and then starts to like curl up, crackling in, looking like some bacon that's been in the pan for a bit too long, rolling up, getting smaller and smaller, eventually becoming this dark lump on the dance floor. And then, yes, we should say, it spreads out into this puddle, and then it vanishes completely. And Miss Tara is pointing out that when dogs hear heavy metal, they go nuts. So to add to the chaos, we got a whole bunch of dogs just dashing around. Probably lots of barks and yips and whines are going on, and their tails are just waving like crazy for their excitement as the Grim Huntsman is defeated.
At the end of her awesome solo, she goes, "Thank you, Satan," into the microphone.
I mean, are you sure you want to do that? You are the guidance counselor here.
Kids have to know about the power of Satan. No,
All right.
no, it's fine. I'll say like instead of that, she'll say, "We salute you."
Rock
Okay.
on, Misty.
Boy, for a giant horror monster, it's kind of easy to beat, isn't it?
Well, isn't it sort of the bigger they are kind of thing? Although that wasn't very hard fall.
Also has abilities that we can possibly not even dream of. So.
And you know, as the motivational poster in my office that was there when I moved into my office says, "Teamwork does make the dream work."
Plus, we have a literal monster manual with us.
Mm-hmm.
All
The
right.
important thing is, Judith, are you still calm? Are you doing okay?
That's a good question because unfortunately, using those powers, seeing this monster attacking her friend, especially when Donovan was nearly killed, it's really getting to her. You can tell like her face is drawn. She's like panting. She's trying to do the breathing exercises, but she's just like, you guys are like the first friends I've ever had, and it's because of me that you're in danger.
Don't worry about it. That was actually kind of fun. I'm having fun at least.
And I got to play a face-melting solo, literally.
It's true.
I think somebody's gonna have to roll a charm. I mean, these are some very charming remarks, but she is in a pretty intense. It is an intense moment.
I guess I'm the charmer out of this group.
With a D10.
I've got a 5.
Okay. I think it's not an adversity token. It's not super success. It's a middle success, but it works. She breathes in a little bit and she's like, "Yes, you're right. It's okay. Nobody got hurt." And she like kneels down. A bunch of her dogs head over to her and she like pets them.
And
Yeah,
that's
calm
when
down a little
she
bit.
has a vision of the future.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna use that one, Walter.
If everyone's all right with that.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
All right, I like it.
Let's
so now
squeeze
she
this
has-
kid like a lemon.
Oh wow. Well, I think you guys. I'm trying to remember if you got Charlie down. I'm thinking of our last power character, that alien. If you guys took Charlie down to his limits or their limits.
Pretty dang close.
The last game with Charlie, we didn't even use him at all.
Did
We
we?
didn't, did
I thought
we?
Showed up at the end.
We did at the,
He
at the
showed
very
up
end.
at the
Yeah.
very end. And he didn't do anything.
No, he did.
Did he?
It was through me.
Oh, he moved the trees.
Yeah. He
Okay,
moved the
he did
trees. He
one
did
thing.
a few other things, I think. Yeah. Oh no, I healed someone. I did a whole
Oh
bunch
yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
that's right. Because I
It's
slit.
basically
your throat.
me as the conduit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say bringing a character who died back to life, or like
No, that was
really
important.
died. It's a big thing.
Mhm.
Sorry.
All right, so vision of the future.
Mhm.
Okay, so Tara, like not Tara, Judith. Suddenly, she flinches. She puts her fingers to her head like she's like a terrible migraine dripping through her skull, and she sees. Maybe it's not quite the future, but something that happened pretty recently. She sees the trailer where she lives with her mom, and there is a unremarkable Chevy like packed out front, and then you see Lieutenant Knott like walking out with her mom like slung over his shoulder. And he throws her in the trunk of the car, gets into it, and speeds away. So when she gets out of that, she like flashes. So she like her eyes flicker back. She like looks up. Now you can see her face is even more drawn. There's like beads of sweat cresting all over her, and tears are starting to form. And she's like, "He's got He's got my mom.
Wait, what was that? I think Walter's still up in the rafters.
She calls up, he's got my mom, and she like shouts it through the gym.
Who? And where?
That military asshole. I don't know where he was taking her, but he was at my house.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Way there?
We should.
Well, just then. Oh, go ahead, Walter.
Nah, you go ahead.
Okay. So just then you hear on the intercom inside the gym, like crackles to life. And you hear it is Lieutenant Snot's voice. Or Lieutenant Snot's voice. Lieutenant Knott's voice. And he says, Judith Cordero, go outside to the adjacent football field. Your friend should come with you. And I want all of you to know, my operations always succeed. And she looks up at you guys and she's like, I'm glad you got, so you went after the people I care about. And that's you, but it's also my mom. So he's got her out there. I guess he's going to do things to her until I'm ready to welcome Abraxas. I got to go after her, though. I have to save her. Oh, Miss Tara, I think you're muted.
Judith, before we go out there, I want you to know, and I think that Donovan would agree with me on this, that the damsel in distress is a horrible movie cliche, and we shouldn't play into his desires to perform total hack work. I think that your mom's stronger than that.
I mean, she's strong, that's for sure.
I mean, I can't fight at all, and I managed to get away from him. I think he has doubts about what he's doing.
That could be. But I can't leave it to chance.
How do we help if we don't go?
Oh no, we should still go. I'm just saying. I think that he's scared. And lost. And maybe not very bright.
Well, could be.
That's what happens whenever you take a hostage in a movie. It's because it's your last resort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this might be that. Well, I gotta go. All right. So as she starts heading outside, and she like kind of exits through the front of the gym. As you guys like emerge, and right now most of the other teenagers have like dashed out, gone to their cars, are evacuating. When the Eldritch Horror shows up at the spring formal, it's time to leave. The dance is over. But as she's heading out, most of the cars are peeling away. But a new car cruises through and does arrive, heads over to join you. It is the... trying to remember. What was the car that Doc Mays had that you guys all rode to the water park in?
Oh, it was like the Woody station wagon.
Yes,
Old Bessie.
Yes, was that what we called it, Old Bessie?
Yep. It's a
All right,
horrible
so
car.
And farting like whale and screeching with its serpentine belt on the verge of going.
Basically, National Lampoon's Vacation family vehicle.
Pretty much, yeah.
The horn plays La Cucaracha.
yeah, Mr. Mays or Doc Mays was not the best. Didn't take the best care of his vehicle.
He converted
Well-
the family car into a mobile laboratory.
It's like the Ghostbusters vehicle then. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it would be the time for it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not quite the Ecto one.
No, Ecto 1 is
It's close enough.
the her song.
Yeah. Okay, so the Bessie, that excellent Woody station wagon, rolls into the parking lot, kind of careens to the side and comes to a halt right in the curb in front of you guys. And you see two familiar figures inside. Doc Mays is behind the wheel, and young Anthony Goglio is next to him. So they hurry out. Gregory comes over. Anthony rushes over to make sure he's okay, and then hurries over back to you, Donovan. And he's like, oh, and to Walter as well. And he's like, Donovan, Walter, I thought you guys could use this. And he hands you the box for Oswald Bueller's Shadow Sentinels.
The box.
I don't know. Last time we used this, it summoned the bloody buck. Or no, the huntsman.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it like summoned it or if it just warned us that it was here.
Oh.
I
Wait.
actually have an idea.
Okay, go ahead, Walter. What's your idea?
Unless you got something, Donovan. Didn't mean to
No, I
interrupt.
was gonna say you should look into this, and see if it's see what you can figure out as far as like predictionary or warning signs.
But yeah, the star warned us we probably shouldn't go out there. And I agree, the whole damsel in distress thing's a terrible cliche.
Oh, I didn't say we shouldn't go out there.
Oh, so we should still go. But we'd be playing right out of his hands. But
I was saying that it's an act of desperation that he's doing.
So he is desperate.
Anthony's like, well, I mean, you got to use what we have. Like, I think you guys need all the help you can get. And this role-playing game, this is like a magical RPG. Maybe you guys could use it to somehow defeat him.
I'm sorry, what's a role-playing game? I'm familiar with the concept of role-playing and its use of cognitive therapy, but a game?
No, it's really cool. You can be like, wizards or elves or, knights, and you like go over and kill dragons or zombies or whatever. But Shadow Sentinels is a lot different. First of all, it's real.
Okay.
And second of all, it's all about these monsters that we're fighting right now.
So, you know how I really enjoy like watching the movies all the time, and I even like know all the moves. Well, games like this kind of let me try it out, even if there's no movie that I'm being part of.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, roleplay is a valuable therapeutic technique.
I don't know about that, but it is pretty wicked awesome.
Oh yeah, super fun.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know the game part of it, but I do understand the roleplay part of it.
Anthony's like, okay, well, when this is over, Miss Tara, maybe I could roll you up the character.
Okay.
But
All right.
Anthony,
Well, here's the game. And then,
Great.
Darn
I'll
it.
play either an unruly customer or your mother's disappointment.
I'll have to look in the rule book to see if we can do that. All right. So, also, Doc Mays hops out of the car and joins you guys. He's like, Walter, I got a little special gift for you. Recognize this? And he holds out the Abraxas Assimilator.
the Abraxas Assimilator?
Yes. I made some modifications to it. Right now, it won't just detect Abraxanite energy. It can also counter it. What you work is you strap the packet over to yourself. It will perhaps use a little bit of your life energy, but that makes it effective. And then it sets out a beam, highly charged negative particles, straight into the Abraxanite entity. It crashes with their own atoms that are of unearthly origin, and should banish them back to their own dimension.
Okay, so it's basically just like a laser gun that kills Abraxanites.
In layman's terms, yes.
Alright, works.
All
But
right.
back to my idea with the game itself, though.
Oh,
It's
yes,
gonna
go
go.
on.
And that you brought this stock in case this doesn't work. But the game, is it able to summon creatures under our control? I mean,
I never tried that, but
Um,
I don't see why not. I mean,
You know,
however,
if
control can be a very loose term when it comes to these entities. I've seen myself how it rarely goes how the summoners planned, but perhaps in some way it could be useful. What are you thinking?
I was thinking, since we just defeated the Bloody Huntsman, maybe it will listen to us for a little bit. And we send it after that head. I even forgot what his name was.
Oh, it's Lieutenant Knott.
Yeah, we send him after the lieutenant for a bit. Try to get Judith's mom away from him.
Anthony's like, awesome.
okay, can I ask a question about this untested sort of device that you're wanting them to use?
Yes, the Abraxas Assimilator.
Is this the thing that one needs to understand how to use a gun, or is this one something that one maybe needs to be smart with, or have a lot of gumption to use?
I would say it's more like your grit, because the
Okay,
beam it fires neutralizes Abraxamine energies, but you got to hold it in place, and it's kind of tricky to do so. Gets your
Right.
teeth rattling, if you know what I mean.
yes. So I think that maybe you guppies should play your game, which you understand, and I do not. And I should point the thing at the monster.
I guess it would work better with an adult using it. Unless James and Donovan want to get a crack at it. I mean, go on, guys. It only uses your life force to fire. James, you want to try it out?
I do have to note that if it uses enough of my life force, I probably am going to need a tank of water, and don't think ill of me if I look different.
Right.
Why would you look different, Miss Tara?
Most people have puberty. I have 2.
You can tell Judith knows. Remember you told her last episode, but she's holding her tongue.
I'm not like the rest of you. Just, if I become something else, please don't attack me.
Right.
It's embarrassing.
Miss Tara, I just want to point out that we just killed a giant, bloody deer-headed monster from Legend. I think whatever you have that's worrying you is not as big as a deal as you might think, at least to us.
Well, we should go, right?
Okay.
So I'm
I
supposed to point this at anything that's exhibiting a large amount of Abraxas energy?
Yeah,
Yes.
like the
Well-
thing I'm about to summon.
It won't totally banish it, but it will neutralize it for a time, stunning it, if you will.
Okay.
All right. I'll stay here and try and do some damage control work in my lab, and I'm going to keep young Master Goglio with me because, I would say a child shouldn't be exposed to such danger, but I've definitely did that to myself when I was younger than him even.
Right.
I don't want that happening to him.
Yeah,
So-
I simply don't want people that are under the drinking age to be using a device that might remove a lot of their life energy.
That sounds very wise. All right. Go out there and kick some ass.
Nice.
Don't worry, guys. I'll summon back up for you. I hope.
Okay. Walter, are you going to try summoning it now, or do you want to head to the football field first? What do you think?
Let's set up the game somewhere where we can get a look at everything.
You could go up into the announcer's booth. Then you could see the whole field, but he's probably not going to notice you. I guess that means that I need to go into the middle of the field with Judith.
Judith's like, that's where I'm going.
I know, Judith. And I'm going to be there to keep you calm.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
need me to be there to be like muscle. I could be muscle.
If you want to. I mean, if you're not into playing that game.
I mean, I don't know. It didn't really seem like that interesting to me. I mean, maybe if
it doesn't seem that interesting to me either, James. But you know, different strokes for different folks.
yeah.
All right, so it sounds like Judith, Miss Tara, and James are going to the field. Walter's going to try and sneak around to get into the announcer's booth. There's like big sets of bleachers around the whole football field. What's Donovan going to do?
No, he's down and out.
I mean, you can still walk around pretty well. You can definitely think, but just like you took a pretty heavy blow into the
right
stage.
So yeah, because I thought I wouldn't be able to do anything as far as help out physically, so I was probably just going to be trying to interpret whatever the game does.
Okay, so you're going to head with Walter to try and sneak around?
Sneak around or whatever it takes. Yep.
Okay, you guys head up there. I'll check back and see if you can like make it in there, or like well, you'll get there, but like there'll be some obstacles coming up. Let's see what's in the field here.
And don't forget, we still have 3 powers to use from Judith.
That is correct.
I think I'm all tapped out on the used animals' powers at this point.
Could be. The dogs are still hanging around.
Then I might not be all tapped out on the used animal powers.
Not
They
too
don't appear after they're used.
I don't know how
Think
useful
about talking to
future
animals.
vision's going to be in this. But we
Yeah,
have
that's
weather
possible.
control and fire control, was it?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, and we agree that she can just start the fires with her mind. There doesn't need to be fire that, like, she can just make the air burst into flames if she wants.
Correct.
Maybe
Okay.
set the football field on fire.
Well, before you do that, let's see the layout.
Yeah.
You step out of the gym, now hastily evacuating as scared dance-goers dash to their waiting cars, not to the adjacent football field. The field lights have been switched on, bathing the chalk-marked turf in yellow light. In the stands, creepers hunch over, hooting and snarling like fans for the big game. At the center, Lieutenant Knott, dressed in tactical black, stands next to a folding chair. Camila Cordero, Judith's mom, is tied to that chair. Knott has an assault rifle slung over his shoulder, an automatic in his hand, and a machete at his waist. He aims the pistol at Camila, who has tears streaming down past the gag over her lips. Like I said, Knott glares at your approach. My operations always succeed.
Let's talk about your mother.
He's like,
You seem to have a lot of hostility towards women.
What?
Why is that?
what are
Did
you...
your mother do something to you as a child?
Are you trying to psychoanalyze me?
I just want to understand why you think that this is a reasonable approach towards life. If this was your final plan that you plan to do, which is harass a young woman's mother, that does seem to be based off a deep-seated hatred towards women. I think we could explore that.
Ooh. I like how Miss Tara's trying to get into his head. Give me a... maybe brains or charm. I think charm, because you're like, it's the talking cure.
Sure. Because I'm using my psychology powers, it's a 7.
Okay.
That was my noodle for psychology powers.
I like it. The superpower of psychology.
It's what she's skilled at.
Okay.
Alternately, that could also be treated as a flat 9 based off the rules, but I never know really how to balance that.
Right. I think he is, he like twitches a little bit. You can tell you're really getting to him. He's like, don't think your cheap psychiatric tricks can work on me. What I'm here for is something bigger than all of us. Judith, it is time to accept your destiny, or I'm going to show you and your mom exactly what I learned from the Contras.
Judith, you don't have to listen to this man. He clearly wet the bed until age 10.
Nice.
Most likely due
Nice.
to a lack of maternal affection.
Okay, I think he's getting very upset at you, Miss Tara.
Good. I want him to, like, point guns at me rather than at this girl or her mom, so...
Yeah, he's definitely aiming the pistol at you, and he's like, "Stop talking."
I'm sorry. I don't mean to touch a nerve. But I do think it's important to explore these things before you do things that are so very illegal you can't walk them back.
I am so beyond the laws that have tried to confine me that they might as well not exist. I want you to kneel down.
Okay. By the way, I don't understand how this Abraxas thing is supposed to work. When am I supposed to switch it on?
Well, as he's saying this, he's like, "Now, Judith, look up and see your destiny." And as you look up at the night sky, there are tentacles reaching down. So there are like maybe a half dozen giant, featureless tentacles of pure darkness stretching out of the sky. They're hard to see because they're the same color as the space between the stars. Just like pure night, but you can see the outlines as they kind of uncoil, and they're like kind of reaching and what's the word? Flickering, waving above Judith. Her like eyes are open and she's staring right at it, and you can tell Abraxas is trying really hard to get in. Camila is like, whining, trying to pull free of her ropes, like if she's trying to get her daughter to not do this, but Judith is definitely transfixed. All right. Meanwhile, Walter and Donovan, you go around the back, you make it into the announcer's booth, you open up the Oswald Bueller Shadow Sentinels and get everything, the pieces out. Walter, what's your next step? And there are all these like creepers that are in the bleachers too.
Crud. Okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it quick. Alright, so Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta have some reassurance here. Is this a good idea? What I thought up?
Well, right now, it looks like we're outnumbered, so it could be okay. But quickly check to see if you can find anything that would maybe give any boost to our friends on the field, or a possible, like weakness to what's coming. See if there's anything like it's going to tell you what's possibly happening next or something.
Like a protection against evil spell or something?
That might sum it up, if there's something like that in there.
Okay. All right, Walter, go ahead and give me a brains roll to like use this game.
All right. And since we're playing Shadow Sentinels at the moment, Walter brought his special dice. So
Always good to bring your special dice for a magical role-playing game.
So,
It's weighted
hopefully
so
this
it
works.
always rolls 20.
Oh, what? They're special loaded dice.
Not so loaded. That's a 9.
Not in this game, though.
Okay. Here's what we'll do. So this is like a protection from evil spell.
Cast on everyone I see.
Are you casting it like on who are you casting on in particular? Just like everybody, or what?
Well,
like a
Judah
target
first of all,
Mm-hmm.
and then try and get Miss Tara, James, And who else is out there?
I mean, her mom is out there.
Yeah, her mom, of course. Don't want to forget her mom too. No.
Yes, and that's it. It's just Miss Tara, James, and her mom.
Okay. So
All right. So I think here's what happens. You cast this spell.
Yes.
Then suddenly you hear a rustling and a screeching, and Donovan, you look out the door and you see a whole bunch of those creepers like charging in. No, they know where you are now.
Okay. Walter, keep rolling. I'm gonna try to make sure that you can keep rolling. We're in an announcer booth. Can I grab? Let's see. Can I grab off the wall or something? Ooh. Could I tie 2 microphones together and nunchuck the hell out of some of these things?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, I need something to help me out so I don't touch them, so they don't touch me. And that'll give me a little bit of distance and some power hits.
All right. Go ahead and roll fight as you make some makeshift microphone nunchucks.
Oh boy. That's a 3. I'm protecting Walter, so that gives me a +3 because I have protective. 2
Okay.
tokens. I'm gonna blow them all right now. So that's a total of 8 for the moment.
Ooh, okay, that's good. That's what you were able to do. With an 8, you hold your own. You don't take damage and you don't die. Yeah, these microphones are pretty messed up. However, you're not really making any headway against the creepers. You're like in the doorway. How are you fighting them? As they trying to like swarm you?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I tried to go out the doorway so that they couldn't get in, but maybe they're also like starting to push me back in at this point as like they clearly have been taking the hits, but you know, the equipment is getting used up. So I got something else.
Oh yeah, Walter made a good point. Why didn't you guys include yourselves in the spell? However, don't worry, the spell does have a really good effect. So back on the field, Lieutenant Knott is just pissed. He wants like Judith to get like upset. So he's gonna show her what he learned from the Contras. He takes his machete and swings it down on her mom, going for like a nasty shoulder blow. But then it as it hits her arm, there's a crash and a flash of light, and the machete shatters. The force knocks him down. It knocks Camelia Cordero down and the chair over. She's still tied to it, but she's now like on the side, and Lieutenant Knott is also like over on his side in the grass.
James,
And the machete is destroyed. It's like the blade shattered.
James, do you think you can get to the mother?
How far are they?
I mean, well, let's say this. Imagine you just got the ball. They're at the touchdown point. Can you run there in time to get to her?
Certainly try.
All right, this is it. This is your chance to be the star player. Go ahead, get that touchdown.
Okay.
This would roll flight because you're like running across the field there.
Okay. Not as greatest, but okay. It's a 5.
Okay. I think you get to her. However, Knott has recovered a little bit by now.
Sure.
He rushes over and like slams into you. He is going to hit you with the butt of his pistol to try and like put you down.
Sure.
Go ahead, Miss Tara.
I was going to try to distract him before he attacked James.
Oh, okay. Yes, please do.
There's things I want to do too.
Oh yeah, yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Lieutenant Knott.
He like looks up from the grass where he's fallen down.
I'm taking it that this didn't exactly go as you planned. Do you think that this is because you're a chronic masturbator or that you do a regular amount of masturbation?
He just shouts out like, "Stop talking."
I mean, I'm just curious. When you do that, do you think about your mother?
Ooh, so you're trying to distract him?
Yes, I'm trying to distract him.
Oh, okay. So this way, James gets the mom, starts pulling her back. I think James is able to like kind of get her away, but he does like come to he like rolls over. Now he brings out the assault rifle, and he's just like, Judith, go ahead and stop me, as he like flicks to full auto and aims at all of you guys.
And that's when she gets highly concerned about everybody that's about to get shot and says, fine. Burn.
Whoa. Okay. This is using one of those energy tokens, I think.
Yeah, if that's all
Felt
right.
like this was probably coming.
Yeah. Great comment from Scooter there about the psychoanalytic warfare that Miss Tara was throwing down there. All right. So bad news for Lieutenant Knott. He like spontaneously combusts. Fire like races out of his uniform. He drops the rifle. He like falls down, starts rolling over and like wailing. However, Judith is using some of Abraxa's power, and as she's doing this, like her hair starts to flow from her head. Her eyes are glowing with that same darkness from the tentacles, and she is lifting up off the ground as the tentacles are reaching down for her.
Ms. Tara is going to reach out with one hand to grab her, and with the other hand flip on the device.
Okay. So are you firing the Abraxas assimilator up at the tentacles?
Yeah, I think if it's a beam that actually comes out to shoot at something, she's definitely shooting at the tentacles.
Okay, yes, the beam flies up. Go ahead and give me a grit roll to see how long you can hold it.
Okay. Oh my god, I just rolled the 20. Hold on. So you know I'm not faking.
We believe you, but wow, that is amazing to see.
20.
Whoa, natural. Okay, well, go ahead and roll it again.
Yep. Sometimes the dice are really with you. I don't know what to say.
No, this roll.
Okay,
this is one of the best
that's
you've done.
only an additional 2, but that brings it to 23.
That's still really
I
good.
get the +1 in grit. So she just like full on just like she's Peter Venkman. I don't know what to say. She just taunted a guy to the point of him like losing his mind. And now she's blasting tentacles in the sky.
All part of the fun in Kids on Bikes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so how does it look like as you're like blasting up at this thing?
I just feel that it's like full on proton pack, right? Like this just stream of blue and pink lightning just blasts up at it, and like where the sky was kind of dark before, it's almost kind of clashed with it, and it's like blown a bit of a hole, like sort of like it's fixing the Terran reality, but because of it, it almost looks like she's destroying the tentacle, even though what she's really doing, I think, is reimposing reality over it.
Oh, totally. All right, so yes, the beam is ripping through the tentacles. They're starting to vanish and fall away. Judith like settles down and kind of like lands back on the grass. Her eyes are still dark though. She's gonna need something to pull her back into reality. Oh, and the creepers, Donovan, Walter, they start to like flicker out and vanish one by one as the tentacles are going.
Mhm.
So the Abraxanite energy is being dissipated, but Judith still needs something to kind of like bring her back to Earth.
Can I, by this point, have like untied the mother and like gotten her out? And then I would like to just be like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I think this might be faster, and I'm going to pick her up and rush her to her daughter.
Definitely. Well, you put those football skills to use, and I think, I mean, bringing someone's mom to them is the ultimate bring back to Earth move. So you don't need to roll for that. So she rushes over and embraces her daughter. And Judith, like, her eyes flicker back to their normal shade, and she settles back to the ground. And she's breathing heavily, but her mom, like, catches her, and then she's like, oh, it's gone. I think it was, I nearly agreed to it, but it's gone. And then you guys look over and you see one of those strange tentacles stretches in Knott's direction. The solid smoke extends, billowing down to reach for him, his arms open, almost embracing it. He hugs the tentacle. Abraxas, he whispers, I'm yours. Then the tentacle pulls him off the ground into the sky. He makes a noise, somewhere between screaming and laughter, as his limbs jerk and shake wildly. Then he's pulled away and vanishes into the space between the stars.
That's not going to end well for him.
Well, you're just like, well, good riddance. You guys, you saved the world, and you saved me, and you saved my mom. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just glad that it didn't seem to drain much of my life energy.
Ugh, me too.
She says, looking at her hands, like if her life energy had been drained more, her hands would be messed up. So,
Oh.
James, looking at how you've performed today, I know that I've always been skeptical about your football skills. You might consider a career as a firefighter. I think you'd be very good at it.
Firefighter.
Camila's like, you certainly saved me.
If football doesn't pan out for you.
I'll think about it. I mean, that would be pretty heroic. I mean, that's not...
Everybody loves firefighters, James. You'd be a real hero.
Hero.
Good point. We love our firefighters. So you guys head back across the lawn. You see, waiting for you by the now empty gymnasium as the police cars start arriving, are your friends. Donovan, Anthony rushes over, definitely checks you're okay, does some, kung fu moves with you. James, Gregory embraces you, and then Walter, Alice Avakian goes over, gives you a big smooch. Donovan, of course, gets a handy Sadie Hawkins smooch from Megan Monaghan, and Kylie Kita also smooches her date, James. Not the best Sadie Hawkins dance, at least, but it sure was a memorable one.
Yeah, everyone almost died.
Yep.
Hey, but
Almost.
we have to be heroes? Like, isn't that like your guys' games? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah,
Well-
James. That's how it works. We're all heroes. All four of us.
I think I like it.
I think there's only one way to end this night. And she goes to the boys that are in the band, if they're still around.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Any Way You Want It by Journey?
And with the street, I mean, I was thinking the "We Can Be Heroes" would be a good one to end on. Though it is kind of sad. I think the Journey,
Heroes is actually a really sad song.
yeah. I think "Any Way You Want" is a much better way to end it. And with those beautiful sounds rocking out through the night, we are going to bring this episode and this arc to a close. Before we go, though, let me do a quick check around, because we might revisit some of these characters, or we might not, for our final 3 arcs, which will take place in the future year of 2020.
Oh, man.
So let's see what happens to these characters as time goes on. Maybe give me some ideas when I start planning out our modern Kids on Bikes. All right, so let us start with we'll go the opposite way. So, Dallas, what do you think happens to Donovan as he grows up?
Well, seeing this, I think that he was going to go through the route of practical formal education, getting good job and all that. I think what he does is actually hits the movie career early and gets out early, realizing that every time he beats someone up on set that challenges him against his actual techniques and thinks he can't do what he can really do, and every time he does something and he hurts someone else or himself, he realizes that medical is the way to heal and get through everything. So
Right.
he actually goes back to med school later on
Oh, okay.
as a late thing, and everyone thinks he can't do it because he's already some kind of Hollywood big shot.
So you become like maybe a Dr. Donovan Tran? or Nurse
That's what
Donovan
he's going
Travis?
to try to go for in the end. He like I said, he loved his career, but like sort of became more of the wiser fighter in the end, not just the brute.
Oh, I like that. He can break your bones. He can heal your bones. All right. How about Miss Tara? I know, Kat, you're going to play someone different. I think you said in the 2020 game.
I am. So I think Ms. Tara actually comes out in two ways. Number one, she does come out as a lesbian, but number two, she also decides it's time for fish people to be out in the open, and she also comes out as a fish person. And they have the saying, "We've got skills, we have gills, get over it."
I like it.
So she becomes the first like sort of proud Piscean American, and starts going on the talk show circuits about it, about how there's more Piscean Americans than people know, and that we've always been regarded as monsters, but we're just like anybody else. Except we do have gills, and we gradually turn more and more into fish as we get older.
All right.
If you're okay
cool.
with that I'm like throwing this universe definitely just has out and about fish people now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can imagine our universe would have that and be different, but not super different.
Yeah. It's not always easy to be a fish person. There definitely is some fish person hate. There's she gets a lot of questions like, how do I know if I'm dating a fish person? And she's like, well, love is love. And does it really matter if they gradually turn more and more into a fish the older they get? And think about it this way. They live to be over 500 years old. And so it's a way that you're always going to be remembered.
Good point. All right. I do like that, Miss Tara. How about Marvin? What about Walter Brimson? What has happened to him as the years go on?
Oh, after this and discovering, hey, magic exists, Walter's going to explore more of that avenue. I mean, the doc is probably going to need somebody to take over the lab and everything, and Walter really knows this stuff, so he's pretty much the best person to fit the bill. Plus, he's going to explore his relationship with Alice and probably end up marrying her down the line.
Okay, so Walter Brimson gets married.
And also,
have fun dealing with remote. If you have kids, you're gonna have fun dealing with remote learning during the 2020 stuff. That'll be interesting.
That's gonna be tough. But also,
yeah,
Walter's gonna explore more of this Shadow Sentinels game, because he wanted to try out something that he didn't really have the opportunity to do beforehand. So one day he's going to summon the Bloody Huntsman.
Whoa.
And see if he can command it, since he actually was part of the group that beat him in the first place.
Oh man. Well, I definitely think like quarantine can be hard, but knowing magic can make it a little easier. All right.
Else he's probably just going to use the Huntsman to get his kids pizza or something.
I like it. Just use some magic for some casual around the house chores. Okay, and then finally, James.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick to James as he grows older.
I will say James definitely gets to the college level of football. And I would say I don't know. I don't think football doesn't have like a minor league or anything like that. He gets to he gets to the training point of actually playing, and maybe gets a few. He does get one game actually on the field, but he eventually just I think yeah. No, yeah, okay, I like this. In the one game, he gets a little bit too reckless and ends up getting injured. So then after that, he actually takes up the offer that he got from Miss Tara way back when, and becomes a firefighter.
Ooh, okay, so James becomes firefighter.
Yeah.
I like that you inspired by the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I have a quick question for you. Do you think that he's one of the responders on September 11th?
Whoa, I don't even want to go. That's kind of a dark take. I mean, could be.
Not really. I mean,
Help save people's
this
lives.
is in this is
That's
in
true.
New
It's
Jersey. And
New
a lot of
Jersey.
the
Yeah, yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
I would. He wasn't. See, I'm trying to remember sort of like how, like, because I know like it was mostly like the responders at New York that had a lot of, but I'm guessing New Jersey got in there as well. And like this was back in like junior high for me, so I'm trying to remember this.
firefighters came from all over for it.
Yeah,
especially out of the tri-state of like New York, New Jersey. I want to say Connecticut was the other one that sent a lot. I think Pennsylvania also sent a lot of people, but definitely New York and New Jersey.
Then
You gotta remember, Manhattan is really closer to New Jersey than it is to most of New York.
Mm-hmm. Then I think, remembering his sort of like his time as sort of the hero back in high school, I think he would actually try his hardest to save as many as possible during that time. And he does do a lot of it.
Right here on everything, so absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry
all
to
right,
put you on the
so-
spot like that. I just
No, it's fine.
No, it makes sense. It's it's suitable for the time period. And everything.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. All right, so let's so we're gonna take a kind of a week off, like create some characters and see what Crescent Bay is like, 30 years after high school, in the year 2020, and then the week after that, in I believe March, we will come back for the final 3 episodes of Generation Shadow.
That was awesome. Seriously, guys.
Wait, not Generation Shadow. What am I saying?
Well, we just
Bringing it back.
we'll edit that in post. No, we won't. We're leaving that in.
Strange Generations.
Strange
Everything
shadows.
is involved.
So no, it's perfect because we've done so much, and don't worry about putting Nick on the spot. He is the theater kid, so it's totally fine. No, there was a couple of things like the one moment over here is like because I commented in Zoom. That's the first time I commented ever in Zoom, but I was like Tara went like full Freudian attack. And I was like, as Bill and Ted would say, you fruited the dude. I mean, it was good. I was like, so that was super solid. But there was a couple other little comments. I was in the chat that we do here in Zoom just to keep the stuff flowing. And also in Twitch, I do monitor as many chats as I can. But I do want to give, like we always talk about spinoffs. Every once in a while we talk about spinoffs. And then, of course, Marvin pipes in with My Life as a Teenage Fist Person would be a great, like, MTV show in 2021. Let's be real. I mean, it would be a thing. And I don't know, Gray Mouse, I kind of read this in this tone of voice. In more of I read it in kind of an Ace Ventura kind of a thought when she, Gray Mouse piped in and says, do any of them care about Abraxas, what Abraxas wants? No, they only think about what they want. I just felt like it was more of that kind of voice. Kind of like, fine, we'll just do whatever you want to do, kind of thing. And I really enjoyed that. And said, yes, that's the right tone. So thank you, Gray Mouse, for that. That was amazing, for putting those in there. And thank you guys for putting these characters together because this is very nostalgic and awesome. And at the end, when you're talking about putting 9/11 into there, I was like, I think that putting Nick on the spot for that character, I was like, that's pretty dope. Gives you some backstory kind of built in. Yeah. So thanks again. This is again always my favorite arc. I can't wait to see what you guys do for 2020 2021 kind of esque. See how you roll that.
Everybody in Gen Z.
Right. let's see what happens. But we are going to take a week off because we have to let let Michael do some work. I mean,
Yeah, I gotta get some
And give
plans,
Michael a
characters
break.
out.
yeah, we all have real jobs, so we have to do those too. But until then, we'll take a couple weeks off. We'll take next week off, and then we'll be back the following Tuesday. But until then, of course, everyone pull up a chair and make time to tabletop. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you very soon.
Good night, everybody. Hail a Brack.